Hey y'all, I'm Jane Corley with Pick Visions Media Arts and Photography. Thanks for tuning in. If it's your first time here, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you can be notified every time a new video is uploaded. We will be talking weddings for the next 52 Wednesdays. Thanks for tuning in to our very first episode. This episode, we're going to talk about what to prioritize in your first few months of your wedding engagement period. My fiance and I had a 14-month engagement period. I know some of you might be saying that's a little long, and some of you might be saying that's a little short. I wanted at least 12 months, and when we settled on our date, we just ended up with 14 months. So for starters, we're going to talk about what it's like to have a 16 to 9 month engagement period. First things first, I would suggest making a wedding binder. Get yourself a notebook, make yourself a folder, and really just get your planning process written down. I love a good list, so if you're like me, then having this book will make you feel so much less anxiety because you'll have a physical checklist on you and with you, and just some place to have all of your information where you can get all your questions answered or fill out every blank. Just get a binder. Get one that works for you. Step 2 is budget. Nail down a budget. Talk to your fiance and see what you guys are willing to put in, and talk to any outside sources like parents and see what is coming from that end, and just have an honest conversation about it, because if you prance around the point about it, no one will ever really know, and when it comes to money, things can get really out of hand in the wedding business, and sometimes I just wanted to vomit, honestly. Like, you're charging me for what? And just, it'll keep you in line to be able to say no. No to your family, no to yourself, and no to vendors and extra little add-ons along the way. My fiance's dad actually always said, watch your nickels and dimes and your dollars will take care of themselves. So just worry about where your final amount is and try your very, very hardest to stick within those guidelines. And it's best really to create an Excel spreadsheet if you can, to keep track of everything. And especially if like your parents are helping you pay for it at all, then you'll have documented lists of what's been spent and where it's been spent. We'll go a little bit further into budget on another video. Number 3, pick your wedding party. You probably already have a pretty good idea about who you want to have in your wedding party. Now, it may be a little taboo for me to say this, but you don't have to have the same amount of people on the bride side or the groom side. Yes, you may be thinking, well, Jane, it's going to be so wonky and we're not going to be even. Y'all, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All that matters is all the people who you want standing next to you are standing next to you, and all your future husband's friends or wife's friends are right next to her. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you are happy, your husband is happy, your wife is happy. All that matters is the two of you are happy. That's it. So if you've got to have 10 people on your side and he's going to have 15 people on his side or 3 people on his side, do it. Do it. But I will say, if you have a smaller budget, y'all, try to keep your bridal party down. Talking about saving change here and there, just an extra $100 here, an extra $100 there as you get further along for groomsmen's gifts and all that kind of stuff. If you can keep it smaller and you're on a budget, do it. Next step, number 5, is talk to your fiance and talk to your parents and determine if you want to have a wedding planner. You can have a wedding planner for your whole engagement time, or you can just do a weekend wedding coordinator, weekend of, or you can just do the day of. I'll have another video about wedding planners coming on down the line. Next is to pick your date. Try to nail down the best time for you and your guests to come and join you at your wedding. Just pick a date. Pick a date. When you finally do make it to your venue, which is number 7, you will have more success nailing down venues that you're really attached to if you have multiple dates available. So if you really like this venue, but you only have one date available, that date might not be available. So if you have more than one date, say maybe 3, around the same time of year, then you're more likely to book that venue, and it's going to be a smoother process. Moving on to number 8, officiant. Make sure if you have a specific officiant in mind, someone from your religious organization or someone from your local community that you really, really want to have them do your wedding ceremony, make sure you provide your dates to your officiant before going to your venue, because we actually had to change our date because we didn't do this. We had to change our date and wiggle things around because of a mix-up of conversation between our venue and our officiant and us. It was a hot mess. I'm sure you'll hear about it before the end of these 52 weeks. If they're flexible, super. But make sure that they're on board before you nail down your date if you have someone in particular in mind. Next step is to start your research. I know that sounds really daunting, start your research, but it's actually really fun. It's really great. Think about all the things that you can see on your wedding day. Think about your flowers, think about the different textures, think about the colors, think about, the color you want your groomsmen in. Just really just spitball. You got enough time? We're just talking about ideas. We're just brainstorming. Start your Pinterest board, start talking to brides you've been to their weddings before, start just talking weddings. Your friends will get tired of it, but they will get over it. Start talking about your wedding, start thinking about your wedding, start brainstorming, talk about it with your fiance. Just really get things going. Stir the pot. This is also a good time to see do you want to do a lot of things yourself? Do you want to DIY or buy? That's something you've probably heard of before. DIY or buy. This comes in handy because if you're going to DIY a lot of things, you need to start thinking about doing those things. So as you can see back here, this right here was part of our wedding setup, and we had to have like 35 bottles of wine. Now, if you're like me and my friend group, that really wasn't so hard. But it's something you have to think about. I need to start getting wine bottles. I need to start taking labels off. I need to start this. And, the wood slabs, I don't know if you can see it here. We had wood slabs for our centerpieces. There was a whole month or 2 where we were making all of these wood slabs. So if you're going to DIY versus buy, you need to start thinking about those projects. So finally, this is an optional, if it's your style sort of thing, we didn't have one, is an engagement party. So, we went out and had some drinks with our friends, and I celebrated hard with my family, but we didn't have like an organized engagement party. So if you want to have one, have one. And if you want to not, then don't. That's saving on postage, saving on, food and location and having to plan another thing. Do it if you want. It's not a have to have. So if you guys have any extra questions on any of these items on my lists, put it down in the comments below. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're struggling with, and maybe it's something I can answer for you. Until next time, I'm Jane Corley with PicVision's Media Arts and Photography. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you can be notified every time another video is uploaded. Tune in next time for how to make a wedding binder. See you then, guys.